hello everyone, and welcome to Windows on Wellness, which is an opportunity to speak to mainly women about what they do in the area of self-care, how they show up in the world to serve, and their top tips for well-being. It's my absolute pleasure to invite today Wildflower Ali. That's the way I speak about her. Her name's Ali. And she's going to share a little bit about her world. So let me get Ali into the room. Here we go. Good morning, Ali. How are you doing today?
Good morning. I'm doing okay. I've had my cacao, so I'm a little bit like, oh, that's what it does.
I would love to hear about that in a minute. And I'm loving, true to your name, but as you said, as we were preparing for today, you didn't plan this, but you are representing for the Wildflowers today. Yay! Love it, love it, love it. So my first question, my dear, is how does Ali look after Ali?
Okay. This has been a big question for me because I know that I think self-care kind of became a big thing during COVID, and it became very aesthetically pleasing to self-care. And what I mean by that is like having a bath with rose petals and bath bombs and candles and making it into this real beautifully looking thing. And that's just one example. And you know, true Gemini form that I am, it's very hard for me to not do well-being and be well-being instead, because I'm a doer. So for my self-care, it is not about adding extra things on my to-do list, because in the minute that I do that, it becomes a doing. But it's about how I try and live my day-to-day life. So it's about being completely realistic with myself, and setting boundaries. And I need boundaries, and they work very well for me. So, and honouring my limits and not letting myself push past what is sustainable for me, because I don't take breaks. Like, I work better just doing until I'm finished, but I'm also aware that puts me in burnout.
Yes.
So I have to just, before I start something new, I have, which you introduced me to actually, Insight Timer. Not Insight Timer. The 3-minute breaks. The Gene Key. That's not Insight Timer, is it? It's
called Triple Flame.
Yeah. That has been a saviour for me, because I would just stick that on for 3 minutes and breathe. So I haven't just gone, next thing. What I've done is given myself just a 3-minute gap to recenter, reset, and just bring myself back together. And I really find that works for me.
Wow.
And it means that that 3 minutes, and knowing, you know, due to the nature of it, knowing there are hundreds of other people that are pausing for 3 minutes when I am, kind of helps me get reconnected as well. And feeling connected is another one that works for me. So I don't know, I think my self-care is a little bit out there. Because it needs to be, because I am.
I was going to say, I'd expect nothing less, my dear. Well, we're all unique, right? And what I love about what you've said is that it needs to please you, and rather than having a to-do list, it's a kind of to-be list. I want to be the person that pauses in between the next exciting thing, or unexciting thing. It depends what it is. And you spoke about boundaries. Can you give me an example of a kind of boundary that you set so that you have that limit really clear in your mind?
Yeah, I think I have to make things non-negotiable because I'm very good at talking myself out of doing something, even if I enjoy it. So, because I think the minute that it becomes something that I have to do, I'm very good at talking myself out of it. I'll just do that in a minute, or, I can hear all of these stories coming in to not do the thing that I know is going to benefit me. So I have to make it a non-negotiable, or I have to anchor it to something I'm already doing. So, like, my drives to work are my sort of self-counselling time, and I'll check in, and I normally talk to myself out loud. So I have full-on conversations with myself in the car, like, how are you? What is going on? And I love it.
Love it too.
Or, slowing my breathing down when I'm brushing my teeth. That's another anchor that I do, because I know I have to do that every day. So it's almost like I'm anchoring it to a non-negotiable, because I have to drive to work or somewhere at some point every day. So it helps me stay committed, because I'm already anchoring it to something that I'm already doing.
Yes.
And I don't know, other boundaries, like not picking my phone up straight away when I wake up.
That's which is
really hard, because my alarm goes off on my phone, so I'm already in it and on it. So it's a big boundary to not just click into notifications like, okay, what's going on this morning?
Yeah, I love that. I think that idea of checking in before we check out what's going on with everything else it's a really important thing. And like you, I do spend a lot of time talking out loud to myself, because then that feels like a conversation with self, because it actually is the word coming out, right?
It does what journaling does.
Yes.
But because I'm a communicator, I need to speak. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm really good. I just said that. Where did that come from?
Yes. You're doing the communication, the affirmations, the daily journaling, but in a way that is Ali. I love that.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about now how you then show up for others. What kind of service are you here for? What's your contribution? What do you offer people?
Everything and nothing. The parallels of both. No, it's never nothing. But when we, I guess personally, and I think astrologically, collectively, we're all going through a giant undoing. And I've really, really realised that, plus being an old psychology student, right, that every theory is always disproven. So, and we know nothing, really. Which I love, because the journey through it can be one of the most amazing experiences if we aren't attaching ourselves to attaching what validation and our sense of worth and who we identify with being to something, because that creates coping patterns and stories and cycles of behavior that we just get stuck in. So whilst I do a lot of different things, because again, true to type, I like to dabble in everything. So I support people through retreats, breath work, energy work, ceremonial, ritual, a festival now. I guess my core thing is just helping other people. And I do work best with women, but I don't limit myself to that. It's just, that's who I'm calling in at the moment. But I like to help people see themselves differently and kind of alchemize what we see as our suffering and our limiting beliefs and our the things that keep us small and identified with being quiet, not girly. I mean, there's so many different statements that I hear people identify themselves with. I hear myself doing it all the time. If I start anything with "I am," it's a limiting belief. I know it straight away.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, no, I'm not. I can be so many other things. What am I doing here?
Mm-hmm.
And it just opens up this whole spectrum of like purpose and wisdom and self-awareness.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's where my passion lies, and that's where everything always leads back to. It's being able to see yourself as you really are once we become aware of how we really see ourselves.
Incredible. So it's if I hear you well, there are lots of different kind of formats in which
yes, because we've got to get out the way first.
Yes. And having been a recipient of your guidance, whether it's through breathwork, whether it's through circling and sharing stories, whether it's drumming together, whatever the mode of expression is, it's always about inviting people to open themselves up to themselves.
Yeah.
Right? So it's very it's about expanding beyond what you put limits on, and it then makes absolute sense that you look after yourself in that same way that you're asking people to look after themselves.
I didn't look at it like that, but that's made me smile.
Well, part of the beauty of conversations is to check in with everyone that what they're sharing out there is what they're sharing in here, because all talk about being authentic. You can't attach authenticity to yourself. You can simply you either are or you're not authentic.
Yeah. And you change all the time. So you can be so authentic in one thing, and then a few months later you're like, actually, I don't believe that anymore. And that is the realness. That's the realness of being a human. And like that is what I'm here for. That it's okay to think one thing one week and then think something completely different the next week, because that week you could be really present with yourself and connected and so aware of what's going on, and then the next week other people's energy, hormones, anything else comes into play, and you could be stuck in ego, you can be stuck in your limiting beliefs, and the whole way you speak about yourself and to yourself changes.
Yeah.
And that's what you've got to deal with, right? How you're showing up in that moment, not your ideal self. And I became a bugger for this, excuse my language, sorry, because I did this personality test. I don't know if you've heard of is it MBTIs?
Okay.
Anyway, it's a very, very good, a bit like how we test our personality with astrological tools, how we're born and what we're like. Anyway, it does that, but it's a very thorough questionnaire. And the first time I answered it, it's how I wished I was. It's like the ideal Ali. And then I had to go, I think I had to answer it 4 times in the end, because I was just like, but that's not what I do. There were 4 versions of me.
And that, again, it so beautifully demonstrates your commitment to peeling back those layers, however long it takes. Times over, I'm going to get there, and when I do, we're going to find out where inconsistent, where imperfect, where a different collection of cells each morning we wake up, right? Like that's 100%.
And every single part of it influences how we show up.
Yes.
It's so much more intricate than we think. Yeah.
We will have to have a part 2, Ali, because there's so many rabbit holes I want to go down with you. For now, though, I'd like you to leave us with a couple of tips for people to kind of take away, and all the details to get in touch with Ali will be beneath this video or in the description. So you can hear more from Ali after this as well. But what would you leave us with in terms of a couple of tips for kind of regularly being well?
I would say do something good for yourself the minute that you wake up, because that will, even if that means you're not scrolling on your phone the first time you open it, I think that sets you up for being softer with yourself for the rest of the day. And anchoring some of the things that you know benefit you to things you already do, like I said, like driving, brushing your teeth, something you're already doing that you can just sort of anchor something else to, because that is just easier. You don't have to think about it so much. You don't have to take up all this space in your brain and carve out time. And I think the minute you've done that, you take away the benefits of your self-care anyway.
Yes.
Because you're already overthinking it.
Yes.
Well, I must sit here for 10 minutes and meditate, and I can't because I've said must. And that could be a trigger, you know? You must sit still. So I think it takes the overthinking out of it. And I think for me, that's really helpful.
Love that. So do something good for yourself first thing when you wake up, and anchor into the things that are already, in your words, non-negotiable. I'm seeing that visual of the anchor now. That's sure going to pop up in people's minds as well as a takeaway. Anything else before we close off for today?
Have an affirmation that makes you feel good, and repeat it when you remember it.
Yes.
There's always something that I've read on an angel card or an oracle card or on Instagram that has just made, it's given me spiritual chills. My whole body goes, and I think, right, when I remember, I'm going to repeat that, because I know that it's created like a visceral reaction. So I like doing that too.
I love that, Ali. Thank you so much. It's been absolutely delicious speaking with you today. And we are going to talk again, I am sure. But for now, thank you so much. Wildflower Ali. You can find out all the details about Ali's work and how she shows up in the world and what she offers in the description to this video. Thanks everyone for watching, and catch you on the next one.